During the early 1900s, the Wellsworth, Suddrey Railway was constructed, with Adam, Lily, Emily, and another engine called 3783, an engine that was mainly used for the Wellsworth and Suddrey for passenger services. The railway reaches from Suddrey all the way to the China Clay Pits, which was a pits that was constructed for clay to trade with the nearby Rendelian Republic. In 1918, an engine that was constructed by the Wellsworth and Suddrey, named Wonder, was built to operate the China Clay Pits, for use in shunting and delivering it to the nearby Suddrey Harbor. However, during her construction, an accident occurred which caused her the loss of her 2 eyes. However, the construction still resumed, causing her driver to navigate throughout the line. Throughout 1918 to 1949, the Wellsworth and Suddrey Railway had many standard and loaned engines from other railways to be used on the line. It was also at this time that 8783 was discontinued and was no longer maintained properly, causing the leader of the railway, named Alexandra Gratude, abandoned the engine at Kronk's scrapyard. The engine was covered up by a tar with its piston rods removed and its tender in another line, and was covered up with adding rolling stock with it, causing Emily to take over his passenger services. It wasn't until the late mid-50s that things started to take a deep turn. First of all, the engines and rolling stock were starting to show their age, as most rolling stock would fall apart completely, and with engines' piston rods falling apart, even other engine parts start falling off. However, the railway starts showing its decline when its number 2, Lily, crashed into a switch after changing switch during a goods run. It wasn't the switch's fault, but it was ratherly the condition of the engine. In 1941, the Northwestern Railway offered the Wellsworth and Suddrey Railway a merging. However, it was declined, with the manager at the time stating that it would have been a total failure and would ruin the Suddric pride, in which the army was still when it was fighting during the war. In 1945, the Suddrey harbor was bombarded with bombs by the Nazis during the Blitz, mistaking it as a British target point, as it was stated by Adolf Hitler in 1942, giving condolences who lost during the Suddrey harbor incident. Throughout the 40s, the Wellsworth and Suddrey Railway slowly declined and slowly beginning to get into debt, as it was failed to pay back its loaned engines after they were ripped apart during the time. It was also rumored during that time that workmen were removing parts and selling them for the market, which to rebuild after the Great Depression. And unfortunately, on January 3rd, 1950, the Wellsworth and Suddrey Railway closed down, and the line couldn't cope due to the fact of the railway's declining of rebuildment and maintenance costs, and with the decline of engine maintenance. It was the most unfortunate loss, as for the railway's capital laid upon the abandoned railroad. But with roads taking over of it wasn't a problem, really. Adam and Emily would be sent to the Northwestern Railway and was purchased by Sir Richard Topham Hatt. But, unfortunately, Lily and 8783 being abandoned on the railroad. Lily was soon parked at the now abandoned Suddrey Harbor, while 8783 was moved to the old Wellsworth and Suddrey sheds, which was not far from Suddrey Harbor, still being covered up by a tarp, but now having its tender disconnected onto another shed. Wonder was also sent to the Northwestern Railway, but was purchased by a private owner at Trovin's Gate, being a shunter there during the time. During the 60s, a very ignorant James was accidentally sent to the old Wellsworth and Suddrey line, which he encountered 8783 in the shed he was left in. Finding out that the railway has been abandoned, Sir Richard Topham had ordered a restorement of the line, and it was agreed by the Suddreyan government at Suddrey. James was one of these engines that was helping during the project, as well with 8783, which was renamed to Braden, as well with Wonder, who was loaned it from the Crovan's Gates works. Years went by, and until 1970, when Lily was soon founded during the construction of Suddrey Harbor. A dynamite exploded, causing a whole car of dynamite exploding, causing the entire building structures to collapse. The project of restoring Suddrey Harbor was soon abandoned. The railroad was finally completed in 1972. Lily was the engine that run the branch to this day. As for Braden, he was used for the Ballyhoo line services from Vickerstown, Ballyhoo, and Normanby. Despite being a passenger-built engine, Braden often would like to take some trucks a lot, which the trucks would be using to Ballyhoo and Normanby as well. Alongside with Braden, Wonder was bought as well by the Normanby branch, and now is a shunter at Ballyhoo.